You're now listening to the Engage the Rockies podcast, your go-to podcast for local and state issues concerning Colorado.
Hello, Colorado. This is your Engage the Rockies weekend review for the week of August 26th to the 30th. If you'd like the show notes with the links to the stories we're covering today, please visit engagetherockies.com and sign up to our email every Friday. We'll send you the list of articles when a new episode is released. From around the state, the second special session of the current General Assembly has concluded, passing 2 of the 13 bills introduced on Monday. The final vote on House Bill 24B-1001, the deal crafted by legislative leaders, the governor, and the ballot measure proponents, passed on a 30-4 vote in the state Senate Thursday morning, with 3 of the 4 no votes from Democrats. It now goes straight to the governor for signing, as it was not amended in its quick trip through the Senate. The state Senate took the last action, approving the bill that will result in the withdrawal of 2 ballot measures, Propositions 108 and 50, that lawmakers believe would have devastating impacts on the state budget, particularly K through 12 education. The initiative's proponents argue that the measures are necessary because lawmakers and the governor have failed to provide sufficient and meaningful relief to Coloradans facing massive property tax hikes, as high as 50% in some urban counties. The deal contained in the special session bill would cut the effective residential property tax rate to 6.3% or 6.4%, depending on assessment growth, reduces the commercial property tax rate to 25%, effective in 2025, caps property tax revenue growth to 5.25% for local governments and 6% for inflation growth, whichever is greater for school districts, extends through 2025 the state backfill to local governments that see cuts in revenue, and as contained in Senate Bill 233, allows local voters to override the local government revenue cap and school districts to override the cap at the statewide level. Moving on. A council member from Aurora is claiming that a Venezuelan gang has infiltrated apartment complexes in the city, effectively backing the claim from the owner of a property that Aurora shut down a few weeks ago. The Venezuelan Tren de Aragua gang, also called TDA, has control over 4 apartment complexes in the city, including Aspen Grove, The Edge at Lowry, and Whispering Pines, with The Edge being the, quote, worst location, according to Councilmember Danielle Jurinsky. Jurinsky based her claims on information she said she received from community members, including residents in these apartments and property owners nearby. TDA is said to have given, quote, the green light for gang members to attack or fire on law enforcement, according to the U.S. Department of Homeland Security memo to the Albuquerque Police Department. It's unclear whether the green light also includes Denver police officers. Alethea Smock, a spokesperson for Homeland Security investigations in the Northwest region, confirmed TDA is operating in Colorado. Officials said the gang has a diverse portfolio of criminal activities that includes human trafficking, specifically immigrant women and girls, drug trafficking, kidnapping, extortion, and money laundering. Moving on. 2 more ballot initiatives have officially qualified for the ballot this November, according to the Secretary of State's office. The first initiative, Proposition 138, is a constitutional amendment that would add a provision to the state's education statute declaring that all children have the right to school choice. The second initiative, Proposition 145, establishes requirements for veterinary professional associates, a new position within the veterinary field that supporters say is critical to addressing the state's veterinary workforce shortage. Opponents of the initiative argue veterinary professional associates lack sufficient training and experience for these additional responsibilities, which could put animals' lives at risk. 2 more initiatives are awaiting signature review ahead of the September 5th deadline. One proposes creating a, quote, peace officer training and support fund to assist in recruiting, training, and supporting law enforcement officers and their families. The other seeks to establish a ranked choice voting system and eliminate single-party primary elections. And in local El Paso County news, the developers of the new outdoor Ford Amphitheater have agreed to implement additional measures intended to address noise levels that residents living in the surrounding area have described in recent weeks as excessive. J.W. Roth, Venue founder, chairman, and CEO, and Bob Mudd, company president and chief operating officer, met with Colorado Springs mayor and city council president on Wednesday to discuss possible additional noise mitigation strategies that, quote, aim to reduce unintentional impact on our community, end quote, the city and Venue said in a joint statement Wednesday evening. While sound reporting shows the amphitheater has complied with city-approved noise limits and mitigation requirements since it opened 3 weeks ago, quote, we all recognize the need to try alternative mitigation strategies to address noise, end quote, the city and developers wrote. Developers will share a timeline for these measures as they gather data and develop mitigation strategies, they said in a statement. And lastly, students in and around Colorado Springs posted improvements overall on standardized test results that Colorado public school students take every spring, inching closer to pre-pandemic levels, according to district and school results the Colorado Department of Education made public Thursday. Educators now consider 2019 scores a benchmark year. 4 years later, among all 178 public school districts statewide, math scores rose slightly, with 34.2% of students meeting or exceeding expectations, up by 1.3%, while English scores saw a nominal bump of 0.4%, up to 44.1%, meeting or exceeding expectations, the Education Department reported last week. Colorado's math scores have caught up with pre-COVID scores, while English scores continue to trail, but by less than half a percentage point. Students in grades 3 through 8 are tested for math and English language arts annually, and students in 5th, 8th, and 11th grades take CMAS science assessments. Secondary students also take the SAT and PSAT college readiness exams administered by the College Board. A Gazette analysis of test results of students at the 17 Pikes Peak region districts indicates academic progress in English language arts and math overall, with gains and losses varying from district to district. Cheyenne Mountain District 12, Colorado Springs District 11, Academy District 20, District 49, Fountain Fort Carson District 8, Edison 54 JT, Peyton 23 JT, and Cripple Creek Victor RE1 reported improvements in English and math in 2024. The two highest performing districts in the area, Cheyenne Mountain District 12 and Academy District 20, are within 1 percentile of meeting or surpassing pre-COVID results in both subjects. Those are your top stories for the week of August 26th through 30th. Please tune in each Friday for your weekend review from Engage the Rockies. Please continue to like, share, and subscribe for more great content. If you'd like the full articles from the stories we read today, sign up to our email list at engagetherockies.com, and we'll send you our show notes each week. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Engage the Rockies podcast, your go-to podcast for local and state issues concerning Colorado.